Another day, another vlog. I hope you all have been enjoying these vlogs. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to become part of the family. Hit that like button. That is the best way to support the channel. And also share your thoughts in today's video in the comment section below. I know you all have seen the previous videos, but in today's video, I will be talking about my childhood in depth. So before we get started, before we jump into it, I wanted to talk about this white thing that you all see on the screen there. It is a urinal, so the thing on the gutter, it's a urinal. So essentially you open the door, you enter, you stand on the wood and you pee in the gutter. So that should tell you that where I used to live, it means you're living a hard life, but that's just by the way. I know I pointed to it in the previous vlog, but I never went into detail what it was. So it's literally a urinal. The issue is that this area where I used to live, or where I was born, the way the buildings were built, or the way the community was set up, was such that a lot of the buildings or the houses or the homes here don't have inbuilt urinal, washrooms or restrooms or bathrooms. So essentially, because they're compound houses, like the way an apartment style would be, whereas apartments are built such that each apartment has their own bathroom, their toilet and their bath and everything. These houses were not built like that. A lot of the times they have a designated place where you could go and shower within a community, a set group of individuals. They have public restrooms and public bathrooms and public toilets. That's how it worked. So what I showed you earlier is essentially the white one was a urinal. They do have public toilets where you can go to do number one, number two, whatever your business is. But then that's how the concept is here. So when we lived here, our compound house, which I'm about to show you guys very soon, essentially we did not have a toilet in the compound, which is the black gate we're about to enter right now. All we had was a place to bath, which was the outhouse bathhouse that I mentioned the other time. So essentially, if you had to do number two, you had to go to a public toilet to do it, or most people then resort to doing it in bags and other stuff and throwing them in the gutter, which doesn't help because it adds to the filth and the unsanitary ness of the area, right? So I digress. But yes, this is where I was born, guys. My parents are originally not from Accra, Ghana. We're from the eastern region, but they moved to Accra just to, fend for themselves and to find a better life for themselves. And then this is where we live. So I was born here. I'll come back to this bathhouse, by the way, but this is a bathhouse. You shower here. And then, yes, like I was saying, I was born here. And when I was 8 years old, we actually moved out of this area to travel abroad. But before that, when I was born, things were difficult. I believe the building was built on a swamp area, right? And when the houses were being built, whoever did the construction or the plan, they did not put thought into how to build the foundation so that water would not seep through the floor or the cement or the ground or whatever. But unfortunately, they did not do that. So what happened was that essentially whenever it would rain, water would seep through the cement, the floor, and come into our rooms, right? And it wasn't only us. I think other rooms flooded as well. But it's just so interesting to see that I grew up here, guys. Like I said in the previous video, at some point, it rained heavily and the rooms flooded and I was sleeping in the rain, and I didn't even notice it. And the worst part was that we would see tiny little frogs literally coming into the room from the water or wherever it is that they came from. But I would be sleeping and I'll have on a mat, because we used to sleep on the floor. Mind you, this was a chamber and hall, which means there was a living room space and then there was it's like a 1-bedroom space, but no bathroom, no toilet. It's just the bedroom and then the living room, which was very small and tiny. We're not talking about a big space here, guys. Unfortunately, the people that currently live there were not there, so I couldn't necessarily show you the inside, but that's how it was. So we used to sleep in the living room on a mat or a little thing on the floor, and because of the rain and the water just kept coming in and the place being all swampy, there would be tiny little frogs underneath my bed or the mat that I slept on or whatever. But this is just to show you all that life is hard. Sometimes you don't choose where you're born into or the life or the family that you're born into, but at the end of the day, we all pray and hope that our circumstances will change. So this is the compound. It's actually much better now. They have extensions now, like as in the patios that are in front of the houses now. And then also the compound is properly cemented and everything. When we lived there, it was just sand. Okay. So yes, this is the place, guys. This is where I used to live. There was a bigger gap than this. I think they expanded the building across from us, so it's taking up the space. But yeah, this is the place. It feels like just yesterday. It literally feels like just yesterday. I just can't believe that this is where we used to live. It's just crazy, guys. Like, this is the door. This is the door. And this window right there. One time, because we already know that whenever it rains, water will seep through the cement on the floor, the ground or whatever, and flood the room. But what we did not know was that one time it rained so heavily and the gutter got overfilled that it busted, and all the gutter water rushed into the compound directly to our house because we were at the end. So the force just pushed the gutter water all the way into our house. So because of how forceful the water was coming through with the rush and everything, our dad had to pick us up one by one and pass us through this window just to give us to somebody else to take us to their room. Back here also, where the building is, the uncompleted building is, used to be a refuse dump. So right behind our house, the window was a refuse dump. It was literally a place where the people in the community would throw trash. So when I look out our window, it's literally a refuse dump right behind our window. That's how serious things were. Aside from us floating and swimming in gutter water, this was the situation. But now I think they've sealed it up and they've built in a building there, which is what you can see right now. But things were not all rosy. So when you see our situation now, personally for me, I have greater appreciation for growth, for managing my finances, for saving, for investing, because I don't want to go back here again, okay? I do not want to go back here again. I don't want to have to go back here again, or I wouldn't even want my kids or my future kids to be exposed to such conditions. That is not to say that if you find yourself in this situation now, it is a bad thing, fine. You would wish for more or better. But I feel like at the end of the day, you still have to make the best of your circumstances or your situation. In my case, things are not perfect. We're still striving for more, but it's definitely way better than this, okay? But yes, this was the situation, guys. This area is actually called, there's Choco and there's Chemwena within Accra, right? So when they're listing the top 5 slums in Accra, this area is part of it, right? And this is where we used to live. And the fact that things have changed, and mind you, we did not just move out of here and straight up to greatness or whatever. It was a gradual process. But one thing I will say is the place looks much better now. The compound looks much better now. They have more extensions. They have patios, among other things. But yeah, it's interesting. I was 8 years when we moved out of here, though. But yes, once I got back this year, 2025, I decided to just go there and to just revisit the area. I feel like this serves as a reminder for me. And these videos are more like a digital diary. So back to the bathroom. So this is our bathroom, guys. It used to be where the box is, the brown box is, and the sand. I think they broke it down and built it over there, which is what you can see right now. But it's 3. It used to be just 2, I believe. Yes, so it's a public one. So it's for everybody that lives in the compound, right? So this will be referred to as a compound house, essentially multiple homes in one compound, right? Like it's like an apartment style, but not necessarily like the way you would see it abroad, among other things. But yes, that's our bathhouse. Literally grab a bucket of water, you go there and you shower. Literally, it's open, so anybody can just stand on the wall and see you at this point. But that's just beside the case. But the compound did not have a toilet, so we had to go out to use a public toilet. And in terms of peeing, you either had to pee when you're showering, or if you're a guy, you can pee in the gutter. But if you're a girl, I guess you can squat on the gutter, because I know kids used to do that. But yeah, this was the area, guys. I used to live here. I just can't believe at this point, we just decided to meet a few people just to see if they recognize me or just to touch base or check in with them. But to think that we made it out. And it's funny because the compound where we lived, we were one of the few people that actually, our family was one of the few that actually made it out and built upon where we were. So I'm not saying that I'm rich or I'm in the best situation ever, but at the end of the day, we made it out of here. We're one of the few people that did, and things changed for us, thankfully. So, yeah, sometimes your parents have to make the sacrifices so that the kids can build on and get a stone to stand on to continue to grow. And thankfully, my parents did their part, so it's more or less my turn. But it's nice to see these things because it helps you reflect on life. And then just so you know that things are not always going to be rosy. And whenever you find yourself in a difficult situation, just know that things might change. Your circumstances is not permanent. So just be hopeful and just keep putting in the work. But ultimately, I don't play about my finances with regards to this. Like I've seen it be hard. And due to that, I have always been motivated to strive for more. And I've always been motivated to strive for more because I've seen how stressful life can be when you're at the bottom. And why remain at the bottom when you can be at the top, right? So yeah, we're still growing, but just walking around the area and just checking things out. This used to be my church. I remember when my mom was pregnant with my brother, she helped build the church. So the members of the church helped build the church, like carrying sand, mixing the cement, like helping the construction workers build the church. It is a Pentecostal church, but yes, this was my childhood church. And I remember one time they were giving us ice cream or whatever, and they were literally like, if you have a sibling, you guys are going to split one. And I'm like, what do you mean we're going to split one? We're not twins. I'm sorry, I came from a different egg, she came from a different egg. Why are we splitting? But that's just by the way. But this used to be our church, and it was fun to attend though. But yeah, my mom literally helped with that church, guys. It's insane how things haven't changed at all. It literally looks the same. I mean, I think things haven't changed. It actually looks almost the same. Our friend used to live here. My sister's friend used to live here as well. They've painted the house and made it look really, really good as well. So there's been some improvement. This area is like a bus station, as you would say it. But now I think the time we went there was way past late in the morning, so the vehicles or the cars had already picked up people and are on their way to drop them off. But that's it for today, guys. This was very casual, but I hope you all enjoyed it. So I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.